to our first discussion this morning. Persons without proper knowledge of their history and origin are said to be living in a lost world. This idea serves as the basis for Olawakon's second stage play, Tafawa Balewa, The Golden Voice of Africa. The upcoming performance aims at equipping younger generation with the fact and history of Nigeria and help to resonate better with them. The project also seeks to highlight the significance of art and culture in shaping the collective identity through the cultures and national personalities. Now, join us via Zoom to elaborate on this initiative is a playwright, executive producer, The Golden Voice of Africa, Olawakon. Good morning, and thank you so much for joining us on the program this morning.
Good morning, a beautiful morning to you. Good to be here.
All right, talk to us about the significance of this play.
Okay, so I think I need to take a bit of backgrounding on this. This particular project is tagged Tales of Legends, and Tales of Legends it started last year. We started it last year with the story of the mother of our dear president. That's the person of Alhaja Abibatu Mogaji, which was done in Abuja and Lagos, and it was well attended. And the idea behind the Tales of Legends initiative is to use live theater to tell the stories of great men, of legends who have contributed immensely to the development of our dear society, our dear country, Nigeria. We know that it is very, very pertinent and sacrosanct that we look deeply into our history, because a man without a good knowledge of his history may find it difficult to locate his future. So we have used these to design 3 key points. And those key points that we try to address with Tales of Legends, they are: number 1, history, which I mentioned earlier. Number 2 is education. It is very key for us to educate our students, to educate our children about who we are as a people, how we started, and who are those founding fathers of this country, and those that are doing so well from maybe one sector, one area or the other. That's education. Now, the third is empowerment. Live theater is such a viable tool for communication. And we know the strength of the Nigerian youth. So we are using them, at this particular time to tell the stories of legends. So we know that we have more than 60% of our population is occupied by the youth. So we are diverting their attention from, social vices from other areas to use their strengths for positive things. So far, since we started, we have involved over 3,000, youth that are into the arts. They are actors, dancers, and all that. So that's that area. Then the fourth of it is cultural appraisal for all the legends that will be, picking on these Tales of Legends. We are going to be looking deeply into their culture, because we realize that our value system is, so far fizzling out because of the way we have embraced the foreign culture more than our own culture here. So we are using this to bring back the value system, and for us to know that the communal life that we used to live back then can be reawakened for us to have a sane society. So let me now go back to Tafawa Balewa. It's just a bit of background now.
Before you get there, Olawakon, I love the fact that you made mention of history. The older generation of Nigerians not only know the person of Tafawa Balewa, but also experience his leadership. In the light of the stage play, what lessons can today political gladiators learn from this late premier leader that we have in the country?
Okay, so the first Prime Minister of Nigeria, the person of Sir Abubakar Tafawa Balewa, lived a life for the people, lived for humanity. When I embarked on this project, because I wrote the play, the first Abibatu Mogaji, I didn't write it, was written by Professor Ahmed Yerima, but I commissioned him to write the story. But for this particular one, I wrote it myself. I had to go deep into a bit of research, and in the course of the research, I had to travel to his home state. I had to travel to Bauchi State. I went to the museum. I went to the museum, and I discovered that Sir Abubakar Tafawa Balewa was a selfless leader. Sir Abubakar Tafawa Balewa was a patriotic leader. Sir Abubakar Tafawa Balewa, carried the aura of a simple leader, and that is something that I think the leadership now should embrace. Do you know that Sir Abubakar Tafawa Balewa, as the Prime Minister of Nigeria, had little or nothing, as wealth to himself? He was just so concerned about the people and the people and the people. And because they started this being the first prime minister. There was a lot of foundation that he tried to put in place. If you look at his visit to the US at the time, the first visit to the US, the way he was received, and it was at that visit that he was nicknamed the Golden Voice of Africa. The way he was respected in the global society, the way he proved himself to say Africa is a giant and should be treated as such. So Sir Abubakar Tafawa Balewa, as the Prime Minister, had little or nothing as wealth amassed to himself. Do you know that Sir Abubakar Tafawa Balewa, when I visited the museum, discovered that he had only 3 caps, just 2 caps and 1 turban. Sir Abubakar Tafawa Balewa, who discovered the oil in Nigeria, had just 3 wristwatches. The bed that he used before he became Prime Minister was the bed he used. Do you know that Sir Abubakar Tafawa Balewa, when he was the Prime Minister of Nigeria, anytime he was on his way to his office and students were stranded on the road or going to school, he would take his time to take them to school. Do you know that Sir Abubakar Tafawa Balewa was a detribalized leader? As a northerner that he was, the people that he had with him that are his close associates, for instance, his personal physician was a Yoruba man, and so these are the attributes of leadership that should be emulated, that Nigerians can continue to look at. Let's live for the people. Let's sacrifice ourselves for humanity, because that's the only way that we can live. He was a patriotic leader. Quite unfortunate that his life was cut short, but for the few years that he lived as a prime minister, he did his best.
I love the sense. Right. Just a moment, Olawako, your sense of history, talking about Tafawa Balewa. But tell us, this is the second that you're having on this stage play. When is this happening? Talk to us. Is it today? What do we expect to see?
Okay. We did the premiere in Abuja last month because it was killed on the 15th of January. So we wanted to use it to immortalize him. So we did the premiere in Abuja, and it was well attended. So we're bringing it down to the Center of Excellence, which is Lagos State, and it's happening today. Today, 15th of February, a day after Valentine, and we're doing this for the love of the nation, for people to see that we need to imbibe that spirit of love within ourselves. So it's happening at Terra Culture today. We're having two productions today at 3 p.m. and 6 p.m. at Terra Culture. Let people come and see history at its best. And I mentioned that from the 4 key points that we are trying to address with this, education is one of it. So we have made it open to secondary school students free of charge to come and see the production. We have written to schools, and we're also saying that if you are a student, parents can bring their children to come and see, because we want education to be imbibed. We want them to know about our history. We want them to know, because drama is a very vital tool. I remember back then in secondary school, we used to go out to watch drama, and anything you watch on stage live, sticks. You'll be able to recall, easily. So let them come and know who Abubakar Tafawa Balewa is. We did a survey sometimes ago, and we're asking people randomly who was Tafawa Balewa's student. And some of them will tell you it's just the name of a street. Some of them will tell you that, it's Tafawa Balewa Square. Some of them, so they don't.
Absolutely.
Know. So, but by watching this play, they will get to know.
Olawako, we can continue on and on, but education is key to national development. We just have to go now.
Yes.
Producer.
It's also in collaboration with the National Troop of Nigeria.
Absolutely. Producer, Golden Voice of Nigeria. Olawako, many thanks for joining us on the program.
Thank you so much for having me.
This morning.